Okay, in this video we're going to look at the Photoshop interface and how to set it up. So normally when you open up a new picture here into Photoshop or a new document, it will come up tabbed. So if I just go and open up a new piece of paper, there we go, it appears tabbed. Now the problem with this is that if I open up another document, it will be tabbed as well, and then I can only view one thing at a time. I have to click on the tabs to switch between the different documents. While I prefer my documents to open up as floating windows like this, it enables me to have two windows next to each other. I can see two photos at the same time on the screen. So to get it to come up automatically as floating windows, you just simply need to go to the edit menu, then come down to preferences and then over to workspace. And under workspace you need to make sure that you uncheck these two ticks here. So enable floating document window docking, uncheck that one, and open documents as tabs, uncheck that one as well. Now when you go to file and new and open up a piece of paper, it will come up automatically in its own floating window, and you can open up several documents and have them side by side. The other thing that I like to do is this toolbar over the side at the moment is only a single spread. By clicking this two little arrows here, you can make it a double spread toolbar, and it just makes it easier to see. And I also like to have my panel windows floating. So at the moment this is docked over on the side, but if I just grab it in the dark grey bar here and just drag it out, it becomes a floating panel window. That allows me to then resize it by grabbing the very bottom right hand corner of the panel window, and of course I can move it around as well because it's now a floating window. If you open up other panel windows, so for example I go and open up the color panel window, you'll see what happens is it opens up with lots of other panel windows. So here's the color one, but it's got the swatches, the libraries and the paths all open together. If you just want that panel window on its own, grab it in the tab where it says the name of the panel window, in this case it's color. Just grab that, drag it out, it becomes a separate panel window. You can close down the remaining ones, then you can get rid of those, and then you just have your color panel window, and again you can resize it and move it around. The great thing about that is that when you close it down and you go to open up color again, it remembers what you did and just opens it up as a single panel window. If you want to open up any of the panel windows, if you've closed them down, obviously you just go to the window menu and you can access any of the panel windows here. So the ones that are currently ticked are the ones that are switched on. So in this case it's going to be the layers panel window, the options bar that runs here, and our tools panel window over here on the side. Just looking at the Photoshop interface, this is where our documents open up. We've got our panel windows, which I tend to place over here on the right hand side of the screen. We've got our menu system that runs across the top here, and then we've got our tools that run down here. Nearly all of these tools have a little arrow down in the bottom corner of them. And what that means is if you right mouse click, you get nested tools, other tools that sit underneath each other. So they're all related, so these are all marquee tools, it's just that we've got 4 different variations of it, so they're all nested. So to select the elliptical one, you just click on it and pick it up. And then we've got different kinds of lasso tools here, polygonal, magnetic. Again, they're all categorized and grouped together, but you need to be aware that some tools are nested underneath other tools, and to access them, simply right mouse click on the tool. Now the other thing you'll notice is that whenever you pick up a tool, this bar here always changes, and that's known as the options bar. So for example, I picked up the brush tool here, and these are the options that allow me to control exactly how that brush is going to work. If I go and pick up the lasso tool, I get a different set of options, allow me to control how the lasso tool works as well. If you hover your mouse over any of the tools and just leave it there for a few seconds, you'll get a pop-up balloon box which tells you the name of the tool. So if you can't remember what the tools are called, just hover your mouse over them. Plus in the brackets you get a character which is the keyboard shortcut. So if I wanted to pick up the spot healing brush, I could just press J on my keyboard and it would select that tool for me automatically. So that's just a quick introduction into the Photoshop interface. One more thing I should show you is how to change the color scheme. So if I go back to edit and preferences and go back to interface this time rather than workspace, here I can choose, for example, a lighter color scheme if that's your preference. By default we're set on this sort of dark grey color scheme.